How many web pages does Google actually index? Spotify slashes 1,500 jobs like it's O.J. Simpson CEO cites economic challenges. Google will pay $73 million in a deal with Canadian publishers. You're listening to News from the Edge for the week of December 4th, 2023, here on Edge of the Radio.
From the Edge of the Web studios, here's what we're looking at this week.
This is Edge of the Web Radio. I'm your host, not Aaron Sparks, but Morty Oberstein, the head of SEO brand at Wix. We're covering the SEO and digital marketing news of the week, separate from our weekly interview series. Getting more news to you even more quickly, be sure to check out the recent shows over at edgeoftheweb.com. How's it going?
It's going well.
Person who I haven't introduced yet?
I'm the voice.
Because the slides say banter, but then it has a sponsor. Are we supposed to banter before the sponsor or
it's
after
your
the
show.
sponsor?
You tell me.
Oh, I'm cutting the sponsor out.
You're leading.
Joining me this week to share his take on the news is, what's your title this week? Let's see if Aaron wrote. Executive producer, button pusher extraordinaire, new owner of a 3D printer.
Yeah.
That's lame.
No, it's fun.
Jacob Mann. How is it going, Jacob?
I'm printing everything I can. It's a lot of fun. You should get one.
My kids just wanted one.
Yeah?
I said no.
Yeah.
They asked for everything. Different thing, different day. Yeah.
It's kind of fun. It's like $200, and so far I've made like 3 little trinkets that are worth at least $1 a piece. So I'm really coming out ahead here.
Oh wow, you're killing it.
But the kids are super interested. My oldest does like a 3D printing class in school, so she's super excited because
mine has a 3D printing class also, so he's excited about that potential 3D printer that we're never going to get.
It's pretty cool. And then my youngest, she wanted a unicorn, and about every 20 minutes for the next 2 days bugged me about it until I handed it to her. So now she has a unicorn.
Wow. So I would just say unicorns don't exist. Get out of my way.
No, but they exist on a 3D printer. So, but now she wants to paint it, and
that's your mistake.
Yeah, I have no paint for that stuff yet. So, hey, at least we know what everyone's getting in their stocking this year, right?
3D printed crap.
No. The paint to paint their 3D printed crap.
Oh, okay.
It's an art.
I see what you did.
Whatever it takes to get them off their screens.
This is brilliant. So instead of buying actual gifts, you're just going to 3D print a bunch of crap.
I'm going to make them all.
I want a new skateboard. Sure.
I'll be like, I don't know. Santa and I both got a 3D printer at the same time. It's really weird. I don't.
Can you 3D print coal?
Oh, I totally could. I'm going to do that tonight.
Nice. Okay. Now we have to read the title sponsor slide. Welcome to the Cites Strategic Digital Marketing News Desk of Edge of the Web. We're proud to have Cites Strategics on as the title sponsor of Edge of the Web, one of the top SEO companies in the Midwest. The team at Cites Strategics are constant learners, and the reason for this show. I'll talk more about them later on.
Well
done. Is that good?
Well done, Morty.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank God. I'm sorry. I hope I did that okay.
It just sounded like it was the first time you read it, which may be what it was.
I'm not very good at reading.
You're no Ron Burgundy.
I like to wing it. I pull out a book. I'm like, all right, let's start with a couple words and let's wing it from here.
Read the first page and then just decide how it ends on your own.
Yeah, I decide how it goes.
Yeah, I like
Speaking of how it's going, how's it going with that Google index? That's something that Aaron never does. He doesn't pivot. We just go, okay, article number 1. No, let's pivot. Speaking of whatever we were just talking about, let's have a look at our first article from Cyrus Shepard over at Zippy SEO. Google's index size revealed 400 billion docs and changing.
I was so close.
The size and dynamics of Google's web index, a digital repository of web pages eligible for search results, have been revealed during the US versus Google antitrust trial. The goal, as stated by Nyack, is not to create a complete record of all documents. That would be insane. He didn't say that. I'm saying that would be insane. But to index enough pages to satisfy user queries. So they were asking all about the index in the DOJ trial, which you should definitely check out what's going on with that. But to quote one of the leaked documents, like I said, trillions of pages is a lot of pages, so it's a little difficult to get an index of the whole web. It's not ever clear you want the index of the whole web because the web has a lot of spam in it. The web is mostly spam, to be honest with you. So you want an index of sort of the useful parts of the web that would help users. And there's all sorts of things. By the way, 400 billion documents is not that big. I mean, it's big, but it's not that big. And Cyrus goes through and compares the index size, Google's index size, to the Wayback Machine, to Ahrefs, and it's like not spectacularly different. In fact, the Wayback Machine is way bigger, but that makes sense because they have multiple versions of the same document. But it makes a lot of sense why Google would limit it. A, because you don't want to index the entire web, and B, it's very, very costly. So Google looks at things like the freshness of docs, and Cyrus goes through and talks about the size of documents. For example, quoting Google, over time at various times, the average size of documents has gone up for whatever reason. Webmasters have been creating larger and larger documents in various ways. And so for the same size of storage, you can index fewer documents because each document has now become larger. And if you remember, Google came out and said, yes, you can only have X number of size limits for a given document. I think it was a 15. Do you remember this? I'm terrible with numbers. Like 15 megabytes. Yeah, Google new update specific 15 megabyte page size for indexing. Boom, I remembered. Check that out. I got the numbers right. Also, Cyrus points out that, it's not just the doc itself. There's a whole bunch of metadata they have to store and so forth. So, I mean, I'll tell you just anecdotally, and I think SEOs would agree with me. Most SEOs would agree with me. Indexing is not a given like it used to be, or not to the extent of what it used to be. It's much, much, much harder to get pages indexed now. Jacob, thoughts?
My thoughts are, I was calculating how tall those sheets, if you had one printout for each of those web pages.
Because you want to make a 3D copy of it.
Right. How big do you think it would be? What's your guess? How many miles would that reach if you stacked it?
500 miles.
24,848 miles is how long that'd be.
Google could sing that song for the 90s, like, and I would walk 1,000.
I would walk 24,848 miles.
Your door.
Yeah, if I did the math right. I don't know if I did it right. But that's a lot. I mean, everything that's there makes sense. My biggest concern is the people who are going to feel like they have something helpful, useful that isn't indexed for some reason. They can't figure out why, and they're going to be mad.
So
they're going to think they're getting left out.
Is happening.
Yeah. Now that they've seen, it's trillions and you only have billions. Why are you hurting me, Google?
Well, yeah, it's not just that. It's also like the speed of indexing. So I think those sites will get through. It just will happen after they produce more and more content. It's not going to happen the same way that it used to. Like, all right, they came, they saw, they index a few pages. They might index like one page now, two pages now. And then as you produce more content, come back.
Well, it's also like, I think a lot of it just has to do with what people know what they're doing, right? So I was helping a friend get his website moved over from wherever he was to a new site. He's kind of rebuilding it. And I don't think it's on Wix, but he should be.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But he doesn't even know what Google Search Console is. And so he's like, I did all this work on this site, and it's not showing up on Google yet. I was like, well, yeah, Google hasn't found it. Can you
print him a Search Console?
I should print him one.
on your 3D printer.
So I just need to spend a little bit of time showing him how to get, things, submitted to Google, get the site on there, get the pages when he's updating them, submitted to Google to be recrawled. But, I mean, yeah, you got to think if there's trillions, it's probably because a lot of them don't even get crawled. People just make websites to, spam and scam people. I mean, no one would do that, but
that's why you have AI, don't you?
Yeah.
Quick side note, I recall a web build that we were doing and our production team overwrote our staging site. Hundreds of hours of work was lost due to one button click. I truly wish we had a backup service on that staging site. Do you have a backup plan with your hosting of your website? If not, you're putting your business at risk. One data loss event could actually cost you thousands of dollars and affect your brand experience with that new visitor. Not all backup plans are actually created equal. Some hosting providers only offer weekly, which means you can actually lose up to a week of data. Others charge for restoration of those services. That's where Hostinger comes in. They actually offer daily backups for all their customers, plus email restoration and other additional benefits. And the restoration services are always free. Check out all the features over at Hostinger, a fantastic WordPress hosting solution at edgeofthewebradio.com/Hostinger. You can actually check out the pricing on the business WordPress hosting, usually $3.99 a month. It'll be discounted to $3.49 a month from October 30th to December 3rd. That's pretty cool. And that's for 100 websites. I'm talking to marketing agencies listening right now. That's huge. You'll get another 10% off if you use the code EDGE when you sign up. So go over to edgeofthewebradio.com/hostinger today.
Speaking of AI, this article has nothing to do with that. From TechCrunch, Spotify cut 17% of jobs amid rising capital costs. Yikes, that's not good.
That's
Spotify cuts 1,500 jobs as 17% of its workforce in third layoff this year, citing economic challenges. It's like when you go to divorce court, like, oh, what's going on? Economic challenges. Yeah, CEO Daniel Ek, a great last name, emphasizes the need for efficiency due to slow growth and higher capital costs. Despite strong user growth, challenges persist in North American premium subscribers and average revenue per user. Ek sees substantial cost reduction as crucial for financial goals amid broader industry layoffs. What the heck is that, dude? I was talking to somebody today, actually. Forgot where he works. I wouldn't disclose it anyway. It was not for like a major company, but a high-tech company. And, you know, he's concerned. He works for a company. It's like, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Who the heck knows what's going to happen? And seeing Spotify do this.
Yeah.
First off, like, okay, I'll be honest with you. I am the problem.
Okay.
I use Spotify kind of. I'm going to use it more because Google Podcast is going away. And I use Google Podcast to listen to podcasts.
But
like the Michael K show. I like listening to the Michael K show.
You're saying
podcast.
you have the problem because you don't use Spotify enough?
No. So when I do use it and when I will use it in the future more, I will be using it more and costing them more money.
Right.
Because I don't pay for a paid subscription. I use it on desktop, so I don't really need one.
Right.
My wife has one on mobile for the kids or whatever, so like why would I pay for it twice? And there's no chance in hell that any of like the ads, like I will ever listen to any of their ads. I don't care about their advertisers. The advertisers will earn nothing for me. So I am the problem. I kind of feel like, why don't they try to monetize desktop?
Well, I think part of the problem too is that they do something that a lot of other people do. So you have a choice. If you want to pay for streaming music, Spotify, Amazon Prime, Apple Music, there's some other ones out there. They all carry pretty much the same library. It's not like comparing Hulu to Netflix. They have their own unique shows and movies, and they there's movies coming and going all the time because they say, well, whatever, they pay a
No, that's true.
They pay a fee for a movie for a year, and then that movie goes away, and it might go to Hulu, but you can't watch the most recent whatever Mission Impossible movie on all the streaming services. You have to pick the one that has it.
Do you want a hot take?
Yeah, I want a hot take.
All right. All of these platforms, let's go with Spotify. We're talking about Spotify right now. Okay.
Yep.
They put a lot of emphasis in like trying to like optimize for acquisition, like optimize each subscription, revenue, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I want you to, if you're listening to this podcast right now, I want you to go to Spotify. I think it'll be the same thing on mobile. I'll check it on mobile. I'm looking at it on desktop right now because, again, I'm a desktop person. Yeah, I'm weird and I'm old. But I want you to go type in SEO podcasts, and I want you to see what shows up. Jacob's doing it as well. Okay, on mobile, it's a little bit different. Like on mobile, you get actual podcasts, right? But on desktop, as you're seeing, you get an actor, an artist.
An artist named SEO Actor. What's he do?
His top results. SEO actor and some kind of artist. His name is SEO Actor. There are songs from SEO Ferdinand's or something in some language I don't know what it is, or Glencoe from SEO Hyun Lee. Okay, I specifically put podcasts in. So maybe instead of laying off people, maybe you can figure your shit out. That when I'm searching for a podcast, you actually give me a podcast.
Yeah, so I had to scroll from top results, songs, featured SEO actor, artists, albums, playlists. There's a little bit getting into playlist right here. There's a podcast, SEO, and then we finally have podcasts.
Okay, and then I love this. Okay, like I'm obviously biased being that I run 3 SEO podcasts, and by the way, I'm very happy because like Surf's Up ranks really high, but most of the podcasts I'm looking at are like I've never heard of half of this crap.
Oh, I wonder what gets. Yeah, I wonder if do you think Spotify
Grumpy SEO guy? No offense, Grumpy SEO guy. Who are you?
Is Spotify SEO a thing? Like, I know Amazon. I don't know how to do any of it, but if you run an Amazon store, your SEO tactics lean towards getting
The
Amazon.
nobody zone.
I
You
don't
never
know.
heard of the nobody zone? Nobody. It's probably got nothing to do with SEO. But there's
So it should just be called the
Push
Zone.
with Candor all the way down there. That's a great SEO podcast.
Yeah.
Edge of the Web, our podcast, all the way down with Authority Hacker, also a great podcast.
I mean, we are kind of here giving Spotify a hard time. Maybe they knew we
This
were
is,
doing that.
yeah, well, now we're never going to rank.
Yeah, that's right.
Majestic is all the way down there.
We're going to go way down.
Right, yeah, but the Untitled SEO podcast ranks really high.
I still got to think, they talked about putting the investment in 2020, 2021. Like, there's like everyone was staying at home. Everyone's getting into podcasting for the first time, either listening or producing. Like, it makes sense that a lot of money was spent then. But I think a lot of tech companies in general probably overspent during the pandemic.
They overspent. They didn't care about their products. I will
Right.
tell you, it sounds like no. Like, they obviously realized that the reason why they got the signups was for the need of the product. No, they don't.
Right. But that's just
They
it.
absolutely do not. You know what they saw? Money in. This is good.
Right. But like, Spotify probably has some features that, whatever, Apple Music doesn't. But at the end of the day,
Oh.
you're just listening to streaming music or streaming podcasts. Like, they both do the same thing. So how do you, you can't have a staff that big if you're not actually innovating or creating original content. Again, back to the streaming video example where they all have their own shows now to try to keep people hooked in and paying.
But didn't they do that with, what's his name? Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah. So I guess, there are some podcasts that are Spotify
Right?
exclusives.
He's only
right?
on, I don't listen to Joe Rogan, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
he's only on Spotify, right?
Okay, that could be.
Oh, that's not true.
No.
No, it is true. No, it is. Okay, right. There's an old episode on Google.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have heard some podcasts that I listen to through my own podcast thing, and they say we have extra episodes on Spotify. So I guess that's one thing they kind of try.
Oh, that's
but
nice. But then they go search for it and they can't find it because they get some like
yeah. But I mean, we've got an Amazon Echo at
Korean
home.
pop group instead of XCO.
Right. The kids all have Echoes in their rooms. I have an Echo. So we pay
have
for
an Echo.
for the Amazon Prime
Ooh.
Music because there's like
Yeah.
a family plan that's like
Yeah.
great. And
Yeah.
it goes on my phone.
Did
it
you
goes
print it
everywhere.
with your 3D printer?
I printed my own Echo on a 3D printer just this weekend.
Nice.
It's just that easy.
You know what I'm proud of?
What are you proud of?
I'm proud of Cites Strategics. Pat on the back for them.
Yeah, it's a good place. I've been there.
Yeah, because they are a sponsor of